Hi, everyone. Welcome to Planted Seed. I know it's been forever. I'm Jessica. I'm the owner of Planted Seed, and I am so lucky and so honored to have my prima to join us today on What's Your Story Wednesday. And we obviously would have did this video last weekend, but we were too busy catching up. But I'm so honored to have you. And, of course, being Big Mama always keeps the family together. That's just a little showcase. So Steph, tell us about yourself.
Well, what can I say that the world don't know already, right?
True story.
I am a mom of now 4, so I have a whole brand new spanking baby where I thought I was done, being a parent, not being a parent because you're always going to be a parent, but my kids were already grown, like talking about 12, 13, 18. Pandemic hit, pandemic had us locked down. I was like needed a stress release. I went away. It was like I needed like a mental getaway. Like I couldn't take it anymore. And jumped on the train.
And my baby was born.
Jumped on the pandemic baby train because
hey, listen.
But, hey, I love my blessing. The Lord and the universe know what they do, when they do it, why they did it. So I am so happy that I have a number 4, my little, Dior's over there with Dad. But
my little baby.
I don't think I have it any other way. Like it is, like we needed him.
Right. So let's go back a little bit to like your teenage years. Tell me about like what happened during your teenage years, like in high school and things like that.
So in high school, I ended up, so when I was in junior high school and, you apply, I don't know if Jersey does the same thing. When we go to high school, we apply to different schools, like if it was college.
There's some places that do that in Bergen County. Yeah.
And that's how you select your high school. Just like if you were a college applicant, it doesn't go by like where you live. It goes by interest. If you wanted to go to a trade school or regular school. Yeah. Funny thing is, I thought I was like, this big and bad person. So I was like, I don't want to go to any school but zone schools. And zone schools are schools where the children who are like behavioral issues or don't have the grades and can't get into any other school of their choice, they go to the zone school because by law they still have to go to school.
That's right.
So I thought, that the bad kids, I didn't want to do it. So I applied to all the zone schools because we had just moved to the Bronx. So you're talking about Evander,
Move down, baby.
Roosevelt, Kennedy. And when my counselor saw my application, he called my mother and was like, do you know that your daughter is applying for XYZ? My mom was like, what? She's like, they threw out that application. Let me just tell you, okay? And I was forced to apply to schools that met my
well, I know Theo wasn't playing that. Theo was definitely not playing that.
Yeah, they were not. So I ended up going to this school down on Trinity Place. So World Trade Center was my backyard. That was my gym. That was my cafeteria. That was my recess. So that's where like I became my own person. Like, I wasn't with my parents all the time. I got through the school and friends I met there. I got a job down on 8th Street. I used to work for Claire's Accessories. So like I just started becoming more me. I was very independent as it was, but I just started becoming like financially also. Like I didn't have to depend on my parents to be able to go to the movies with my friends or to a friend's party and worry about them having to now find this $20-$30 to get a gift, because we all know how it is. Like when your parents are living check to check, I never understood when my parents used to be like, I have no money. I was like, what you mean you got no money? Like you're the parent, you're working. Like what you mean you got no money? Boy,
they grew on trees. That's why.
Yeah. So the rent was paid, the light, everything that was needed was met, and money was for necessary gas for them to travel because they commuted both to work until my mom, kind of went out on disability. So when I became a parent, I understood that I have no money. So because now I'm working, I don't have to worry about anything. As a teenager, I was like, okay, I could go with my friends here. So it's like I was always like, and I still, so this day I still think I'm the one with the head on my shoulders correctly out of all of them kids, because
It always just happens that way. You know, and I tell my students that I said, you know, stop comparing yourself to each other. Everybody has their own journey, you know, and they got to figure
we all live like we lead different lives. It's not the same. We end up being different people.
right. So what in that time, and in that same breath, did you have any struggles or any challenges that you faced when you finally went to that school? Then you were also working part-time. Did you have any struggles?
Well, my challenges, believe it or not, were in junior high school, before high school,
Really?
because I was bullied. Like, I'm a bully, and I never realized why I was such a bully. And it's just because since
Holy
I was,
shit.
I mean, yeah, but you know, I'm like there for like my people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like no questions. So I was firstborn. My parents are both immigrants. Firstborn, you know, not poor, but you know, not rich, not middle
But they
class.
came here and
You
every
know what I'm
dollar
saying?
counted.
So when it came to like the latest fashions or having the Jordans or the Nikes, which weren't even big then, you know, what
Yep.
was the 5411s or the 54, like, you know, those were like, what was the thing to have the all white freaking Nikes, the Air Ones, and or to, you know, or to have the classic freaking Reeboks, you know,
And they're back. And they're
coming.
back.
But my parents couldn't show that out. It was a few of us, you know, it had to be Bill. So I got picked on. And then my last name is was Mojica, my maiden name. So it was like the last of the Mohicans. Like, and I was the first. So my parents were a tell the teacher type of people.
Yeah.
So the teacher, where I was bullied, I was picked on in junior high school. Like, it got really, really bad. And I don't know how it changed, but it changed. I just like stepped into me and my confidence. Like, I'm like, I could not, I had my friends that had like, I'm gonna get my sister on you. I'm gonna call my sister. I didn't have that.
Right.
I'm the big sister. So it was just like, I couldn't, and my parents were like, tell the teacher. Like,
What does the teacher
like,
have to
I
do?
got 5 guys, tell the teacher. Like,
Yeah.
I got home with an eye like this, you know, and it's just like, and that was in 5th grade. And then that went into like, horrible. So by the time I got to high school, like, I was just like,
You were
it was like a fresh start for me. It was different, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like I sometimes I saw people still snicker about me and how I dress, because like I said, I'm first generation. So I used to wear hand-me-downs. It was like guys hand-me-downs, and I had to do what I had to do. I had to wear it. Thank goodness for Aaliyah's phase back in the day, because it kind of helped me. But when that phase went out, it was just like, you know, what am I gonna do? Then so summer youth, I used to be able to like at least buy me a little bit of stuff so that I fit in. Look, to fit in. And it's just like, my parents just didn't have it. It was a different culture. So I was just different from my parents. It wasn't really to fit in, but it was just to be who I was being brought up to be, you know? So by the time I got to high school, I was just like, whatever, this is me, take it or leave it. But they didn't let it bother me. So that's where I struggled, actually, was in junior high school, and I was bullied and I was made fun of. And
So
I
that's
didn't
pretty much
realize that
your
actually
insecurities.
affected me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, to like the past couple of years, when I'm able to like, why look introvertly and say, why does this bother me, or why am I this way? And it'll trigger, or I'll open a memory, and I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly why, like, you know, and this is why
Right.
I'm so
So
rah
that's
rah
like
with everybody.
your insecurity and your fear,
Yeah,
more or less. Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So did you have any role models or mentors?
I used to like Gloria Estefan.
I love it.
Don't ask me why. Like, and I was like, oh, like I felt like she was somebody that you could be like. And
Yes.
then also love Sandra Bullock. And I always forget her name, and I'm like, why do I forget her name? Miss Congeniality. No, that is Sandra Bullock. It's they were both in freaking Oceans.
I can't even tell you. I'm terrible at movies. That's a fun fact about me. I know the gay movies.
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
Sandra Bullock. I'm like, why do I always do that? And she always leaves my freaking head. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Oh, that's wonderful. And of course, strong women, strong, independent women, you know, doing the thing. Since you have teenagers, is there any advice that you would give teenagers now, like, especially what they're going through right now? Like, we're just coming back from a pandemic. Everybody wants us to go back to regular times,
Yeah.
like nothing ever happened, and you're walking around with a mask on, like, and because of mental health, and there's a lot of changes going on that we didn't have that growing up, but you are witnessing your kids. Is there any advice that you would give to your, to teenagers right now, and to your?
Well, the one thing is I'm gonna say is you got to talk to your parents. Your parents cannot read your cues. If you are locked in your room majority of the time, talking to your friends on the phone, whatever, with a text message, voice, whatever it is, your parents are going to be the ones that are going to be able to help you, even to take the first step to help you resolve whatever issue it is that you're going through. But if you don't tell us, if you don't let us in, and you're always in your room, like you're not even in the public spaces of the house with your family, all watching TV, where you can your parents can kind of gauge something's off.
Right.
You need to talk to your parents. You need to let them know what is going on, no matter how dumb you think it is or the situation might be, how scared you are. Your parents are going to be the ones to guide you out of that situation, whether they're the ones that are going to give you the help themselves or set you up with someone or something that's going to help you or guide you out that problem. Like, do not. I mean, my kids are my friends, and I tell them, like, I grew up a lot different with you guys than my parents. Like, my parents, I wish my parents were like me. Like, my kids are my friends. Like I have no type of filter in front of my children. They get the real me, just like everybody in the world gets the real me. Yeah. Because I'm kind of quick sometimes, if I like come out strong or I had the information incorrectly and that had me react one way, I make sure if I need to go back and apologize, I apologize, and explain my stance and my point of view. Like when it came to the finances, my parents used to always be like, we have no money, we're broke. I never understood that. My kids know our paydays, they know our bills. So they know the in and the out. And there's times that they're like, Mom, when do you get paid? Or when do your dad get paid? And we'll tell them such date. What bills are due? These are questions my kids will ask me. And when I tell them X is this much, Y is this much, Z is this much, they'll do the math. And there's times that they look at me and they're like, that's not enough. That's why I have no money. Like, that's not exactly, it's not enough. Sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles and you got to make do. We have a roof over our head. We have clothes on our back. We have food in our stomach. We can move around from A to Z, and we have each other, So there's sometimes that you struggle. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes you're struggling, but that's America. I'm so sorry. I'm not part of that 1%. I wish I was, but not yet. Not yet.
We will. We're manifesting it. Listen.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes. So I know it was a lot of kind of like heavy stuff, but so tell us a fun fact about you. What's a fun fact?
Oh, well, I am a freaking riot. Like, I don't know. I just like to have fun.
We don't know.
Something you don't know. I don't know if you don't know this, but I friend the friendless.
What?
Frankie always had an issue with that. Like, you become friends with like people I would never expect you to become friends with. And I'm like, because everybody deserves a friend. That's it. But still, that statement, like, I feel people. I could sense when someone is just like, I used to have a friend that would talk to nobody. She would only talk to me. She wouldn't talk to the professors. She wouldn't talk, like, if somebody would talk to her, she would look at me nervously. And she only talked to me because I made her kind of like talk to me. Right. And I just think, why doesn't, now she's a whole different person. Right. But I'm like, because everybody needs a friend. Like, how would you feel if that was you and nobody trying to like be your friend? Like, I feel people, and I know, like, I'm like, God forbid in the news later I see that this person took their life. I could have gave them a day. I'm not saying I'm gonna save their life, but I would have smiled at them, and that would have made their day. That would have made them happy. They would have gone on about their day and not done nothing. However, that same little thing got me a freaking stalker when I used to work for Sunglass Hut. And I was so scared when he tracked me down from one mall to another, completely different counties. I was like, oh no, I can't be friends with everybody. I'm so sorry. I can't save every hoe out there.
Goodbye. See ya. So tell us all your entrepreneurships. I mean, the things that you've been doing have been absolutely incredible. I will obviously tag your business page in this. I think it's so incredible. You said this to me years ago. You truly manifested this. I mean, tell us about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so the main one and like the one that plays the strings of my heart is my newest venture, which is not even my newest venture because I've been doing it for years, just it's out there now, is I'm an event stylist concierge, baby.
I love it. Love it. And what, like the balloon garland, I mean, everything that you do, the color scheme has been absolutely gorgeous. Can you just highlight a little bit, you know, like what parties like you've been doing?
Okay, so it started with just wanting to always decorate.
Right.
Like my kids' party. It always started that way. Then during the pandemic that I got pregnant, and I knew that after maternity leave, work from home was probably not gonna exist. And I have a new baby, and I'm like, I don't want to pay $1,100 to $1,200 a month in daycare because it's kind of ridiculous. I gotta have definitely 2 jobs regardless, because you gotta pay your bills and now you gotta pay daycare. My mom did used to help me with the older ones, but my mom is older now herself. You're talking about there's 12 years in between who was my youngest till the baby now. So I'm like, I can't, maybe mom could watch him, you know, a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there, but not a full 40 to 45 hour a week. She just can't do that. It's not possible. Also, I didn't want to miss out on anything. Like I had the kids young. Yes, I didn't think about it then. I just went to work at my 12 weeks. It was normal. Like that was something that was normal. That's not normal. Like I missed out on so much with the other ones that I was like, I don't want to miss out on that with him. Like I know this is the last one. So it's like, and like, it's so different having a kid in your teenage years or in your 20s to having a kid now almost pushing 40. Yes, almost pushing 40. I am 38, going on 39 in a couple of months.
Don't rush it.
Different. It's just so different. Like you just, the appreciation for that baby is so different. Like, and things have changed so much too. And my first kid is 19. From 19 years ago to now, there's so much things that have changed that you want to do and take advantage of and do it with your kid.
Yeah.
So give me one.
Well, go ahead and plug it.
Oh, my business?
Yes, go ahead and plug it.
So I decided that I wasn't going back to the real world and I was gonna take Steph It Up Decor More out. And the Steph It Up name came from mom life, came from my daughter, my oldest, because I used to be like, what am I gonna call it? What? Give me 1 second, please. I am so
This is what happens when you have a child.
sorry, guys. Sorry.
It's okay. It happens. Listen, we're in real time. This is what happens.
So the name Steph It Up was like my daughter's idea. I'm like, what am I gonna call it? I used to, me and my other friend Stephanie, we always see each other and we're like, Steph did it, Steph did it. I'm like, so you know, Steph did it. So then Dream, who's my daughter, was like, you should name it Steph It Up. I'm like, oh, like step it up or fuck it up. So I'm like, yeah, step it up. So then I knew that I do more than just decorate. I do gift baskets. I just do invitations. I do everything. So that's where the decor and more, so that you know that besides decorations, I'm here from the smallest detail to the full blown day of coordination. So yeah, Steph It Up, Decor and More.
I love it.
Go on the website, stephitup.com.
Love it. And there's a website. I am definitely going to tag everything on there. And I thank you so much for joining us. And finally, we got our interview done.
Yes,
you know, and we are still accepting clients. So you can always reach out at plantedseedgroup.com. And you can also see us on Instagram, where you're pretty much watching it now, at Planted Seed Group. And you can also reach us on our website at plantedseedgroup.com. So, and we also upload the videos on YouTube. So thank you again, Prima. Thank you.
I love you.
So much.